Hi, this is Dallas Mount with UW Extension, and I want to show you how you can use your smartphone to keep track of your grazing records on the ranch. First thing that you want to do is open a browser, and the tool we're going to use is Google Forms. So if I type in Google Forms, you're going to need a Google account, and I'm currently logged into mine. The first link there is Google Forms. We're going to go into here, and I'm going to go to it. You'll see I've got a bunch already made for various reasons down here, but we're gonna start from scratch and build one together. So when I do a Google form, I want to give it a title. So I'm going to call this XYZ Ranch Grazing Records. And you can add a description if you want. So let's start with some, if you can add anything on here you'd like to keep track of, but let's keep it relatively simple for this. So we're going to title it pasture name, and then you can choose what kind of answer it is. This will be a short answer. And then the next thing we might have would be date in. So if we were putting animals in the pasture, and down here you can see we can choose a date, and then of course we're going to have date out, and we might have number of head, and this would probably be a short answer. And then we're going to have type of livestock, and we could choose, this one might be nice to have a drop down, and we could have cow calf as an option, dry cows, yearlings, scroll down here so you can see what I'm doing, yearlings, and we can keep on going here, bulls perhaps, horses, whatever you might want to choose. So you could add as many options as you'd like there. And then something else we might want to say would be grazing intensity. So we could record if it was light, moderate, or heavy. All right. So if we had those things alone, that we'd have a pretty good set of grazing records. There certainly might be other things you want to keep. So once you've got this form made, then what you want to do is you can email it to yourself. I'm going to shorten the URL there, and I'm going to send myself an email with that link in it, and then I'm going to put a link onto my smartphone. So let's go check out and see how that works. Okay, so I've created a form in Google Forms that has the fields that I want to keep track of for my grazing records. I've emailed myself a link so I can click on my email in my phone, and now I'm ready to put the link onto my phone. Emailed myself a link. There it is. I can open the link, and there is the Google form that we created. So we're ready to do some data entry. But before we do that, it's a good idea to save this in a place that's convenient for you. I like to put it on the desktop, add to home screen, and it's going to give it a name. And then when you go to your home screen on your phone, you will see an icon to the grazing records. So we'll click on that. It opens it in a form, and we're ready to put in some information. So let's say the pasture name is the back 40, and let's say we turned animals in. You see, if we choose date, it lets us select the date today, and we came out, let's leave them in there till the 30th, and then we can enter number of head. Let's say we had 250 cow calf, and our grazing intensity was moderate. So if those are our selections, we hit submit. It tells us our response has been recorded, and that's how we enter our grazing records on our smartphone. So now let's go to the computer and see what it shows. All right, so we're back at our computer. We're ready to look at our information that we've had entered. Let's go back to Google Forms. Here is the XYZ Ranch grazing records. Click into that, and you see right beside it here, as long as we're logged into our account, which we created this through, we can see this tab for responses. I did this twice, so I've got 2 entries of the same, but I can look at the individual entries here, or more useful, I can hit this button here that says create spreadsheet, and you only have to do this the first time. Create a new spreadsheet, and here it opens a spreadsheet with my data entries from it. So since I did this twice, I can delete one of these, and there is my first entry. This is the time that I made the entry. Here's the pasture name I chose, the date in, the date out, the number of head, the type of livestock, and the grazing intensity. I can then use this information to calculate how many animal unit months or AUMs or stock days I've taken out of this. If I know the size of the pasture, I can convert that to AUMs per acre. I can graph my utilization. I can do all sorts of things once I have this information in, but getting it in there is the hard part. So that's how you use your smartphone to record grazing records or other types of ranch records on with your phone. One of the downsides of this is you do need a internet connection when you're doing the data entry on your phone. So if you live in remote places where the internet doesn't exist on your phone, or if that can be a challenge, that might be a downside for you. But for some, this is going to work just outstanding.
One additional use for this can be multiple people can enter records from different phones as long as the sharing permissions on your Google Forms and Google Docs are set correctly, and it all goes to the same place. So it's a way for people in different locations to enter information and for it all to be collected, and it's also stored on the cloud, so there's no backup or data loss worries to be considered there.
So hopefully that was helpful to you. Check out the High Plains Ranch Practicum School on the website, and we'll see you there.